Good morning, guys. Unfrequented World. It is fall, and it feels like a PHEV Sunday drive. Premise for today's video is going to be 6 months with the car. We are going to replicate the exact drive I took the day I got the car from the dealer. We're going to go for breakfast, grab a coffee, and just burn an hour and a half here and see how far the car goes in electric mode. Okay, guys, there's the odometer, 9621. We've reset the trip A so we can see how far we're going to go, and I'm trying to run the Watchdog app here. We've started live data. I'm really trying, guys. I cannot get the Watchdog app to connect to the car. It just, for some reason, it's not working, so we're going to have to fly this one without. But as I recall, when we bought this car, we didn't have the Watchdog app either, so no big deal. So just starting out this morning, the vehicle info screen is showing us a guesstimation of 47 kilometers. And we are going to just drive through town and repeat that first day's traveling, which was all, back roads, dropping kids off at school. And we're going to see if the battery is still the same as it was 6 months ago. So my everyday commute, guys, consists of about 15 kilometers on the highway, which I only do about 100 kilometers an hour, which is the speed limit here in Ontario, Canada. So today's test won't include highway driving. We didn't do that 6 months ago, so we're not going to do it today. I will tell you that my average that I'm getting is somewhere between 43 and 44 kilometers with the car. And that's every second day I'm on the highway doing that 15-minute commute to work. So most of our in-town roads, the speed limit is actually 50. You can get away with doing a little bit more. So this is probably around the speeds that we're going to be driving today in this test. You know the car's 6 months old when you start eating and drinking coffee in it. Nobody cares anymore. I just dropped bacon in my crotch. No, you can't make this stuff up. I normally don't eat in the car and I drop crap all over the seat. We should note that the temperature today is 6 degrees Celsius, so that's very close to what it was the day I bought the car. I think it was 8 degrees. Let's just summarize some numbers here after 6 months of driving. My overall average is somewhere around 7 liters per 100 kilometers when we drive this car as a hybrid. So not including the charging over and over every day, because I can go a full week at a time sometimes and not burn any gas at all. My commutes are always less than 50 kilometers if I'm doing regular school stuff for the kids and that. So around 7 liters per 100 kilometers is what I'm getting in this car. Now, if you switch and add in the electric that we use, I'm getting 2.98 liters per 100 kilometers. So under 3 liters, which is fantastic. And I actually do over 1,000 kilometers a month just in electric driving. So for me, this vehicle is working out fantastic. I can show you guys some of the beautiful waterfront of North Bay where we live. Really has one of the most beautiful waterfronts on Lake Nipissing, Ontario, Canada. I'll show you out the left window here because the sewage plant is off to our right. And I'm not even making this stuff up. You can't make this stuff up. The most beautiful waterfront, and of course, that's where they pump the effluent right back into the lake. So, in the winter, you see all the ice huts where they gathered, right around that warm cesspool where the North Bay sewage plant pumps back into the lake. So, everybody loves catching their fish out there. How are we doing on our guesstimeter? Well, we've come 13.3 kilometers and we're still showing 34 kilometers. So if we do our math, that puts us right at 47, which is what the car said we were going to get this morning when we left. So there is one difference today, guys. When we first got the car, we did not put it in B0. Today, we are driving around. We are going to use B0, and I'm hoping to get more than 47 kilometers on this trip. So I'm gonna be honest, that's my ace up my sleeve, B0. Those of you that watch the videos know that I do towing as well. I have a nice 5x10 aluminum trailer, which probably weighs close to 600 pounds. And I have a 600-pound four-wheeler that I throw on the back, so 1,200 pounds. And we're averaging, I don't have the exact number with me this morning, but it's somewhere around 10 liters per 100 kilometers when we're trailering. So not bad there either. So I was at a medical association golf tournament the other night, and I heard a joke that I didn't get. How many flies does it take to screw in a light bulb? 2. Wait a minute. Ooh, tough crowd. Okay, we've hit a section in town, guys, where we can do about 70. And that's what we're going to be doing for the next 5 minutes or so. And that should give us a good mix. Like I said, we're going to be driving between 50 and 70 kilometers for this test. In our first video, we did our speed tests in electric mode right here on this street. That was a test, people, and you failed. That was not the street that we did the speed tests on. And nobody's going to go back and watch that first video to see if I'm lying or not. So you guys are just taking my word for everything I say. Thank goodness I'm honest. So I actually don't know if we can hit 50 kilometers or not today. It'll be a surprise to me as well. I think we should be able to do it, though. It's going to be close. Well, I can say for the most part, this town is empty on a Sunday morning at 7:30, 8 o'clock. Everybody must be at church. Keep in mind, guys, that this test is not a how far can we go on the battery. This is a real, we're driving through town doing the speed limit 50 to 70, mostly between 50 and 60. But I'm betting, guys, if we did another test and we did, 40 to 50 and we really coasted between all of these lights, I must have hit 75 lights so far this morning just driving around. We could probably push this thing up to 60 kilometers in EV mode. Maybe there's another test for next week. Showing 40.3 kilometers traveled, 10 left to go. I think we're going to be able to hit it. So I mentioned the golf tournament from the other day, and I'm really stoked, guys. I finally won something. It wasn't my golf score. God, no, it was never going to be on my golf score. It wasn't on my costume. The theme was Caddyshack, and I had a real good costume. I won the door prize! Yeah, the big door prize, the $400 door prize. So, I finally won something. There it is, guys, 50 kilometers. And we are showing nothing left on the battery. But the motor has still not kicked on yet. So we're going to keep going here. If we can get another kilometer, we're going to get another kilometer. Alright, and there, guys, is 100% electric. 100% electric, 50.5 kilometers, 51.6, and the generator just clicked on there. Alright, guys, back in the garage, 52.9, and the vehicle is running. Good girl. So anyway, the point of this test, guys, and I guess what I'm trying to say is that even though the state of charge numbers are slowly coming down, in real world, I'm still getting the same distances that I was when I bought it. Now, I'm not knocking the guys that are saying they are having issues with their battery after a year or 2 or 3 or 4 of driving. Hey, I think I'm going to be in the same boat, guys. That state of charge is always coming down 0.1 every couple of weeks. But really, in real life usage, as you just saw, guys, we're still getting over 50 kilometers. Now, next week, I think we're going to try to see what can we get out of a battery if we baby it and coast, across town through these stoplights and everything, from one light to the next. How far can we go? I don't know, but regular driving between 40 and 70 today, probably averaging 55, we just hit over 50 kilometers. So I'm not going to knock that. I'm going to say that's exactly what, when I bought the car, I hoped I would get, and I'm still getting it 6 months and 10,000 kilometers later. Keep in mind, this is the Canadian PHEV owner's experience, guys. My experience might differ from people in other parts of the world. I don't get extreme heat here. I do get extreme cold, which we haven't hit yet owning the car. We will this winter, and we're going to document it, so stay tuned. Don't worry too much about your battery, guys. Thanks for watching.